Let's talk about Disney Channel original movies.
Yes.
Ooh.
This is how we're going to end our show, and we've been waiting for this. Our next DCOM Revisited, which was suggested by Blanca, actually. We got Pixel Perfect from 2004. And this is a very exciting movie. Welcome to DCOM Revisited with History of Popcorn. Pixel Perfect stars Ricky Ullman as a techno whiz named Roscoe, who creates a hologram to help his friend's band, the Zettabytes, make a name for themselves. But when the band becomes an overnight sensation, can Roscoe protect his hologram from falling into the wrong hands?
Dun, dun,
The movie's actually about Roscoe trying not to fuck a hologram.
Literally.
Let me get to also, Roscoe is not a dog. That I keep thinking that every time I think that. It's like, who names their kid Roscoe? That's a dog's name. What is that short for something?
It's short for Roscoford. I'm just kidding.
I was just thrown off by the name. When they said Roscoe in the beginning, I was expecting a dog to run into the shot, but it was.
Well, did you meet his dad in the movie? Of course, he named him Roscoe. Jesus.
I just love that his dad created this holographic programming, this groundbreaking technology, and he never uses it.
The only thing that
he walks around, and his son is the one that's doing everything.
We don't see him touch it once. He doesn't use it at all. He's just like,
I don't know. The dad does is walk around. He walks around and then he eats.
Or does he? Yeah, he doesn't use it at all. And then he complains about his job not liking his work or his lack of work. It's like,
which I wrote here. The place, his company is called Skygraph, and I put Skynet. I think this is the beginning of Terminator, guys. I'm just saying.
That idea was really funny because I was thinking of Coachella, and when Tupac was there, I was like, is this the guy who made our 2012 Coachella experience happen with?
That's Roscoe's daddy.
Is Roscoe's dad. Thank you, Skygraph, for giving us Tupac at Coachella 2012. That's what I kept thinking. I was like, holy crap, this happens in the future as a holographic stage performance. And that was the first time I was just like, wow, the future is from Disney all the time.
All the time, dude. Yeah, no, this movie is so ahead of its time. It really kind of is. Like the themes are there. It's just the execution is bonkers. Like there are some crazy things that happen in this movie.
Like a whole part where she's in the internet. I'm like, whoa, this is still she's stuck in the internet still. Is this she ever gonna
and did you catch the car that guy comes in? That's the search engine.
The search engine.
I was screaming.
Love it. I love that little
dude. There was so much happening in that scene that I didn't even catch on to that.
There's so much going on in this movie.
Yeah, that part is specifically that is a fever dream to me, and it was my least favorite part in the whole movie. Always, even as a child, I was like, not the internet part again.
Ricky Ullman, I'll call him because at the time he was called Ricky Ullman.
Yeah. Yes. Real name is Raviv.
I still want to know how he jumped from Raviv to Ricky.
It was definitely Disney. It was Disney being like,
no one's
going to relate to Raviv. They're going to call you.
But why not make him Robbie? Raviv Robbie.
Disney does.
They said Ricky.
Exactly like that, Ricky.
Do you want to be Phil of the future? Yes, you're Ricky. Okay.
Raviv, that's Phil of the past.
I mean, the Loretta's supposed to be a perfect entity, right?
I guess so. But I mean,
who did the choreography for this?
Exactly.
Do you guys know?
Drag her.
Her
dancing is
kicks
so bad.
Off beat. It's not on any beat. She just kicks straight up. And I was so glad that they brought the backflip into every single performance. And it wasn't just the first one. I was like, oh my God, she did a backflip. And then when she did it
wasn't just one backflip. She would keep spinning.
Yeah, sometimes she would.
It's like that scene in The Mask where he throws Cameron Diaz up in the air.
She slows down.
Yes, the clock. One of the main flaws and right off the bat was everyone saying Sam wasn't good enough to be the lead singer.
Yeah.
Even though she has an amazing voice. And she's very attractive too, and everyone acts like she's horrific only because she doesn't have the moves, as Mr. Moxley says. So I also wrote down in my notes, I was like, all of these kids, every single kid in this movie are super fucked up to each other. Yeah. They do certain things to each other that is just so wrong. Roscoe especially is a terrible friend.
Yeah, he's awful. that
awful.
scene with the shoulders, the ears, the shoulders, how he like had the file of what he picked out.
Yeah,
that traumatized me.
And in the
which is all just
conversation-
hanging around in his dad's office. He's in his dad's office, and his dad has all these teenage magazines and these pop songs. It's like
it's basically it's Roscoe's. It's
because his dad doesn't.
Because the dad doesn't work.
Yeah, his dad doesn't do shit.
Roscoe does everything, but
his dad literally like created the flux capacitor and was like, "I'll let my son build the DeLorean."
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so many things that they're trying to do in this movie at the time.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
Very Black Mirror.
It's so
it
weird.
is,
yeah,
dude. Though, especially towards the end, I wrote down like
Tupac had to go through this in 2012.
Oh no,
he did.
Tupac was out there being like, I want to touch the rain.
He's
like,
in
no, Tupac.
Oh no.
Tupac.
Okay, this movie goes from being unintentionally funny at times to being unintentionally absolutely positively terrifying.
It is. Because there's a scene where Ricky Ullman's character is like breaking up a fight between the two girls, and the girl Loretta is literally like, he screens your calls, and Ricky's like, whoa, forget that happened, and it's never addressed again. They don't. It's just like, okay, Ricky doesn't like this girl, but he's screening her calls. He's just what is he's
a toxic little asshole, and he doesn't even realize it. Dude, part when towards the end when Loretta is surfing the dark web and he goes into the recording studio and he flips out on the guy, he like pushes him and he calls him he's like, he's a lying, cheating, self-serving, underhanded, arrogant ball of slime.
Yeah, I was like, where is this gonna go? It just kept going. He's like, where is he gonna swear?
Yeah, no, he was hilariously awful in that part. Oh my god, dude, guys, and we have to talk about the ending, man. Okay, can I please break it down? Can I be the one?
Yeah,
because this is absolutely amazing what happens here. so Loretta decides to surf the dark web, like it's her thing. She goes to Japan, and she does Japan virtually. And so the band, what's the band called again?
Zettabytes.
Zettabytes. Greatest name, of course. So Zettabytes, they don't know what to do because they have this performance and Loretta's not there. So what do? They go with the actual singer, Sam, who's the real person, and she dresses up like Loretta.
I mean, y'all could have canceled the show, but go off.
Yeah, but go off. So she says Sam has in her head, if I have to be Loretta, I gotta do those sweet ass flips, even though I'd never done it before.
Yeah, it's getting to the end of the performance.
And so she flips and she fucking bonks the hell out of her.
No, I thought she was gonna do a backflip. I was like, is she gonna do a backflip? She does a
that would have been very ambitious.
She doesn't even do a backflip. She does a cartwheel. And
the shittiest
cartwheels. And she's going full back like this. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna catch her. Stage time. They're gonna save her.
Everyone moved.
Dude, no one
there's nothing.
It's a
you can actually
hologram
see
too,
the mat.
so
You can see the mat too on the ground. Yeah. I thought, and then I was like, did she just die?
So yeah, so that's the best part. So it goes to the hospital and the doctors are literally like, it's not looking good.
Yeah, oh
like Sam is about to fucking die, and so Loretta decides to come back. She finds out that she's gonna die, and so she goes into the head monitor.
Yeah, she
gets inside of her head.
Yeah,
somehow, some way, and inside of Sam's head is the darkest. Do you remember the game Left 4 Dead?
She's scary.
She's do you guys literally remember? Yeah.
It's just this girl crying. Yeah.
Blair Witchy.
And then she teaches her how to play the guitar, and again her broken guitar, and then she cures her. But when she wakes up, it's not Sam. It's
like,
Loretta.
Hi, Roscoe.
It's Loretta. And that's when I was like, this is the end. This is when it's gonna cut.
And it's like, what's happening now?
Yeah.
What is this going to happen? But of course, now Loretta leaves. Sam comes back to life, which by the way, she's making her run the rain after having fucking her brain gone off.
Yeah, she just had a concussion and it's basically
and then once Loretta leaves and Sam comes back, she falls right back to the ground again. If I were like, if
I
I were
didn't
her
say I
parents,
would keep her alive.
if I were her parents, I'd be like, Roscoe, you stay the fuck away from my daughter, man.
Yeah.
You are dangerous. You are toxic. I don't like you, bro.
I don't understand.
Well, and
how
they
she
just let
got
her walk
too.
out of the hospital. Yeah,
Everyone, yeah, all the hospital staff
even
too.
Dude, no
she
one
just
likes
wants
Sam.
to see the rain.
Yeah. It's crazy how like that girl Sam has nothing to do in this entire movie. The only thing that she has to do is be upset and be in love with Roscoe. That's it.
And get stepped on and picked apart, quite literally.
The end of the movie, it's trying to say, oh, this movie's about Sam getting over insecurities, but the movie doesn't care about that. It only cares about Horn Boy trying not to fuck his hologram. And
there's too much to it to be like, this is what it's about. There's a lot.
It is a lot. It is like it's a Black Mirror episode, because that's what I think is really interesting about the movie, is that it is talking about these like social, like it has a social commentary about that's actually very smart and well written. But then there are things that, just because it's a DCOM, the DCOM things that come out. It's like, is this trying to be cute? Is this trying to be funny? Like, this isn't. It's just terrifying. This is a really
a very unnerving movie.
All the parents who watch it with their kids are like, no, you can't have a computer.
It's a gateway drug.
It's a gateway drug.
Yeah.
No, since we're at the end, I would just like to mention that despite the fact that Loretta no longer exists by the end, the record company, there's no Loretta for the record company, even though they paid for her fair and square. Skygraph owns Loretta. What happens to the dad's job? That's never acknowledged, because you'd think he'd get fired after all of this.
Oh yeah, he got fired and sued. Yeah. They lost everything.
And meanwhile, can you imagine, like, if he hated Roscoe to begin with, how does he feel about Roscoe now?
I mean, didn't Loretta go into the sky or something?
See, that's
literally went out.
So
she went out into a lightning bolt and is in the sky. That's how she.
But then she came back at the ending scene. She was a ghost.
Oh yeah, she can come back willy nilly. That's weird.
Dude. No, it's so confusing, because they made
Tupac
it
do that. I just keep thinking about Tupac.
I wish, man.
Okay, we have two ratings when we rate these movies. We have a nostalgia rating and then an overall rating. Ooh. I would have to give this a pretty low rating for nostalgia, because it didn't really feel old to me, really.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because you didn't watch it as a child.
That's true. That is also a factor. For nostalgia, I'd have to give it, like, out of 5, I'd probably give it like a 3.1, which is actually pretty high. Okay. And for my real rating, I would give it probably a 2.3.
Really?
Yeah. I like the music. That's all for the music and Ricky Ullman's acting. I'm
offended.
Oh,
I'm not. I mean, it's rewatchable. I would watch it again. It's not. I didn't like.
Where does the 0.3 come in?
The music gives it. I don't know why I add like point stuff instead of just going to 0.5 or something. But yeah, I like the music a lot. I like the premise. I didn't like how many stories there were. There's so much happening.
Nostalgia rating, I would give it a 5, because there's so much of this movie where I'm like, I remember there are weird scenes in this movie that just pop up in my head all the time. So yeah, no, that's why I give it a 5 for that. And I give it a 4. Honestly, like as an official rating.
Wow.
Because it's so ridiculous. It's unintentionally funny at times. And also it has these like interesting ideas that I don't really think that they didn't think of at like at the time.
Ages better. It gets better with age, probably, because
it kind of did for me. I was shocked how much that I liked this. Yeah. But it's not a great movie at all. But it's just for DCOMs, for like Disney Channel original movies, it's a 4 out of 5 for me.
I think that's what makes it good, though. It's not trying to be like this deep, intense, like whatever, like a hilarious comedy. It just exists.
Yeah, it did everything at face value. Yeah, it was just like everything we're doing is just going to be straightforward.
It's just like, yes, this is batshit insane, but
like that scene where he's explaining what love is to her. He's like, you're getting very intimate with this hologram.
It's so weird. Okay, you know what? I changed.
Good monologue.
I'm gonna do a 3 out of 5. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go so high.
Hey, don't let me bring it down for you.
I was actually no. I was actually just thinking about it, being like, I'm gonna regret that later. Three out of 5.
What did you rate it, Blanca? What would you rate it?
Listen, I prefaced this entire
Yes.
Zoom call by saying that I like bad movies. And for that alone, I'm going to give it a 5 on both, because it is literally like the nostalgia is absolutely, I would even give that like a 7 out of 5, because that was my movie and it holds up.
I remember my sister watching it, and she was like, that movie made me wish I wasn't real. And I was like, whoa. Because she wanted to be she was a singer and stuff.
Yeah, she wanted to be a hologram.
Same.
But hey, it is. I do like it. My rating doesn't mean I don't like it. But go on to what you were saying about the next rating.
No, I was going to say,
5 or
as far
5 on
as
both,
just like a movie, yeah, as far as just like a movie goes, like I said, I like bad movies. We're aware of this. I'm embracing the awfulness of it, and like I said, it is what it is. It stands, as its own little branch / genre of whatever that was, and I have to respect it for what it is. Shout out to Pixel Perfect.
I love it. I love it.